Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm the Arkansas RC Newbie, and on today's episode, man, am I excited. I'm so glad you guys are here. We have got the carbon fiber G-Speed FS chassis build, my new crawler, finally complete. All right, latest thing that we have installed on this guy is going to be the Reefs 99 Micro Servo Winch. We're going to play with that winch today. We're going to show you guys some ins and outs, some differences, some changes that I've made thanks to you guys in the comment section, and kind of helped me along with this build, so I appreciate that very much. So we'll pretty much be doing a once-over on this, okay? And not only that, over here to my right, we have got some mail. We're also going to be doing some mail time and showing you guys a couple of things here that we've got to finish up this build. But guys, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you guys leave some comments if you maybe see something that I'm missing or maybe something that I should be looking at. And without further ado, let's get after it. Alright, so before we start out with the messing with the micro winch, the new one that I've got, yeah, I see a lot of videos on that thing, and what's funny is they always show it winching. They never show it de-winching. They never show somebody grabbing the winch hook and then setting it somewhere, right? And that's just as important, in my opinion, than it is on how fast the winch speed is, because on the trails, whenever we're comping, you see this little rubber band back here? I got that because I will get my winch line, and everybody does this to save time. They'll get their winch line, they'll hook it to their rubber band or their hair tie or whatever it may be, and then they leave it like this. So it's very important, if it's further than maybe a foot, say, they detach it, they go over here, they take it, and then they spool it out. But every video I've seen on the review of this thing, they say it's strong, it's tough, it's fast. They never showed that aspect. So we're going to be messing with that today. But before we do, again, I want to just do a once-over on this whole thing and let you guys know that I have been listening, and I really appreciate all the constructive criticism. So the first thing is first, I've got my body here, which isn't a lot to look at. I'm no professional, but I have been trying more and more. So I've got, I forget what this body's called. I added my own, my little winch point there up on the top. I've got my little rubber duck on the front end. That was kind of my first build, which was pretty cool. I put a rubber duck on it and everybody loved it, so it's kind of my thing now. I got me a little HSSC license plate, a fire extinguisher back there, and that's pretty much it. A little two-tone action. I actually painted the inside as opposed to the outside, so I'm used to painting. I know it's usually the wrong way, but anyway, we've got that going on. The crawler, as it sits right now, has right under a 13-inch wheelbase. And I will be showing you guys B-roll throughout. It is, I mean, 12 3/4 maybe, if I'm kind of cheating a little bit. So right under 13 inches, and from the bottom of the skid plate to the ground or to the floor is going to be right at 2 1/4 inches. You know, some guys said, hey, that's a really good wheelbase to have. Some guys recommended that I try to tighten up the wheelbase. What scares me with that in the crawling, and you guys all know this, is when it comes to the link department, as far as my experience, is I don't have a lot of experience. So what messes me up all the time is trying to figure out, oh, okay, I need to tighten this link or loosen this link or bend this link, and next thing you know, everything's all just, it's messed up, right? But hopefully everything is just right. So I'm hoping that the 13-inch, we'll just call it 13-inch, I'm hoping that 13-inch wheelbase doesn't come back and kick me in the butt. Now onto the wheelbase department, kind of getting hung up in where my skid plate is. There's a couple of guys in the comments, and I mentioned this on the last episode. I talked about my rear linkages, or my lower linkages to the front portion of the axles. I had them bent, and it made complete sense to me after the comments came in. If you have them bent, then they're going to get hung up on your skid plate. And I was actually doing some crawling on the carpet here in the living room, and it was getting hung up, right? So one of the guys said, a few of the guys said, hey, you need to get some straight links, which always were just, it was a weird idea to me. Get some straight links, put them on there, so your axles, once they hit, then if there are rocks, they will slide all the way off of your lower links that go to your skid plate and hit your skid plate, and then that's when your clearance comes into play on the rear end of the vehicle. And now I have got the straight ones on there. I actually found these. Another cool thing is those are off of my original crawler, my RGT, my first crawler I've ever bought. And every build I've had, the AMK, The Krawler I did before that, the RGT, everything has had RG parts somewhere, so I've kind of carried on those parts throughout. So it's kind of neat. I have those links. So I have a part of the RGT in this Krawler. My original Krawler is now on my most scale, coolest Krawler. All right, so we got that handled. Another thing that some people were saying, well, I was asking, was the articulation. How much articulation should we get here? Should it be a lot? Should it be a little bit? You know, I said desert lizards are one of those things where everybody was loving them for a really long time, and a lot of the guys on the crawling course, a lot of their stuff was articulating crazy. So I thought that's where I had to go. So I went from buying 80 millimeter desert lizards. You guys can see some of those videos in the past where I'm still learning. To 110s. Now I do have the 110s on here, and everybody commented, hey, that's not necessarily a bad thing, it's just kind of how you decide to crawl on your wheelbase, but we do recommend that you angle them kind of like a triangle shape, more of a 45-degree angle. So I had to do some chopping on my body, but as you can see here, we have got pretty much 45-degree at least in the rear, and on the front I didn't want to move my shock mounting keys any further back or forward because I already cut out so much of the hood of my truck. Something that drives me nuts is having a bunch of holes all over your truck. But anyway, so we've got the shocks handled now. Now this episode is going to be based around not only the male tone we have coming up, but also being based around the 99 Micro from Reefs RC. Super small, super tiny. You guys can see I have it mounted behind my servo, but not traditionally. I should have just went ahead and spent the extra money. It just wasn't in my budget. I should have spent the extra money and got the mount. Instead, I bought two mounts for like $9.99 that were for regular servos. But I did some modifying on those, drilled some holes, chopped some ears off, and now I have it setting right behind my servo here. And it's like right in line to where my servo line does not rub on, or my winch line does not rub on my servo. And thanks to that cool Fairlead I have up front, it should stay nice and centered. And we're going to be messing with that just here in a second. Of course, I've got the Rhino Krawler 1800 KVS or RMS20. The Outrunner motor with the 80 amp ESC. I ran it for a while in the kitchen today, just in circles and circles and circles, trying to get it hot. It didn't get hot to the touch, but it actually got to the point where it was getting pretty close. It was pretty warm, but that was running at full bore for a while. I still have not gotten, I know some guys sent some videos, some links. The problem is I have to update my computer. I have a cheap little laptop that I use just specifically for like Chinese apps and things like that. So I have to go through and apparently change the app. So we will be doing that soon, hopefully before this weekend, because this weekend will be crawling time, guys. Please turn those notifications on along with hitting that like button so you'll be able to see this thing crawling first. There's not going to be any pre-crawling. It's going to be waking up early in the morning, going out there and testing it. Stuff might break. I hope not, but that's the hobby, right? So let's check out the speed of it unraveling, okay? So we're going to go here. That's pretty quick. That's pretty quick unravel, okay? Now we're going to do, I made my own little winch hook on there too. With some hog ring for interior hog ring and solder. Made some winch hooks there. Pretty quick on the speed as far as pulling in. And again, pushing out or pulling out. It's going to be about right here on the crawler course. I'll be able to bring it all the way out, hook it up, and then roll it right back in. Haven't got to play with this thing too much, but one thing I do want to try, if I don't knock anything over, let's see if it'll pull its own body weight here. Let me let it out. I'm going to anchor it right here. Okay, let's see. Yeah. So that's pretty good. This is a non-slip pad. Actually, it's like one of those big old mouse pad things, workstation from Walmart. I use it as my workstation. Let me put this battery on here. We're going to see if it'll lift its own body weight. This crawler, I don't have a scale. Maybe somebody will have a scale out there at the crawler course. They usually do. We'll weigh this thing. It's probably close to 6.5 pounds. It's heavy. So what I'm going to do is, okay, so that's something. So when I do let go of the weight, if you can hear it, it's got a hum because it actually is unraveling itself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on the floor. And you know, one of the things I was surprised with was, it's on the floor now. One of the things I was surprised with this winch is, I'm not sure on the advertisement. I'm not sure on the advertisement as far as how much you're supposed to hold on there. But that little spool is not the biggest. And it doesn't really seem like it will hold that much. Right here is the extent I want to go, and it's only about 3 feet maybe. But I was thinking on the crawling course, there's not really areas I think that I have to winch more than 3 feet. Anyway, we have it on the floor. Let's bring it in. Okay, it's lifting the crawler up. Not struggling whatsoever. A little bit here, you can hear it struggling as it's kind of teetering. Okay, and again, when you let off, I mean, the whole truck's body weight, it is unwinding itself, right? Slowly, but it's unwinding itself, so it doesn't have the strongest of brakes in there, but it's not warm whatsoever, and that's a good thing. One thing I did notice is it's very quick, torquey right off the bat, and then once it hits kind of a rough patch, it starts to speed up a little bit. So I'm not sure if you're having a massive amount of say pressure on your truck or on your wheels or something like that for it to pull you out. I'm not sure if it will do a great job of really getting that initial hit, because it kind of takes a little bit. It's like torquey, and then it gets to the horsepower range. Kind of weird, but we'll see how it goes. Hopefully there won't be a whole bunch of winching that I have to do, because that's going to be points off my score. But I'm glad that it mounted in there, and really, I was surprised on the size. I mean, the damn thing is tiny, but what I really wanted was just something very fast, because I was getting so jealous those guys were getting their winch line out there on the course and just taking off their rubber band or their hairband, and bam, and then just automatically pulling it out really fast. And my Warren winch and my little cheap Injora one that I had a while back, those things were just super slow. So this right here should hopefully buy me some time if I do have to use my winch. But everything's going good, man. I'm just again, I'm super appreciative that you guys are helping me out. So, you know, pretty much got the winch on there, took all the articulation out, a lot of it. I was able to kind of, we have some stairs in the kitchen here, I was kind of able to crawl up the stairs a little bit, which none of my other crawlers could do. And the nice thing is, once I hit my links here, it starts to kind of fumble back and forth. It gets the skid plate, it gets past the skid plate, and then the back tires start to bite, and then the front tires start to bite. So that's a really good sign. Yeah, man, just a very big fan of this build so far. All right, guys, so that's going to be my once-over on that. If you guys are interested in a parts list, you guys can check out the links in the description below. And that goes for also the items that we're going to be opening up in mail time. And speaking of which, it is mail time. I'll let you guys know on the course if I remember, if I'm able to. I'm right in the process of downloading the app and getting that computer updated to run the Rhino ESC. Somebody was letting me know, or the whole Rhino brushless Outrunner motor. Somebody was telling me that they wouldn't recommend running a 4S in it. It can run up to from a 2S to an 8S, but they said they ran a 4S and it got really hot on them. All right, guys, without further ado, let's get into some mail time, and let's see what we've got. You guys are going to be surprised. All right, first piece of mail. Let's see what we have got. Oh, I'm excited about this. Not as excited about what's in the box because my dad got me that. All right, wow, these things are super long. These here are AMK, that'll focus there, AMK black 1/10 scale drive shafts. I've seen everybody run these. My boy Brian hooked me up with some drive shafts, a set of drive shafts that were Champion brand. They're a little bulky and big, so I was really worried with the motor and the gearbox and my links and all that just fitting. But I've seen Brian and some other guys run these, and these things are cool looking. Let me show you the cool thing with these guys. Man, those are awesome. Very smooth, very light, very thin. Okay, they're steel. There is a grub screw right here. Well, actually, it looks like it goes all the way through. What these are intended to be able to do is you're able to cut these at whatever length that you want. I mean, they'll go pretty damn short. Be able to cut these any length that you want, get your grub screw, put it on there, and then you have an axle to fit your build. And this is definitely long enough for the rear. That's awesome. Yeah, so it also does come with some hardware, some screws, some bolts that go all the way through. That is just too cool, man. Probably pretty simple to some of you guys, but this is very exciting for me, for sure. That is just awesome. And it was a two-piece there. Two-piece. It comes with both of them, two of them. And I believe they were $19.99. And this right here was actually, should I spend the $19.99 on drive shafts? Because that was kind of, I put that order together before I did the build completely. You know, I've been doing this in parts, and you guys have been here watching, so thank you. It was between the drive shafts or the servo mount, the mini servo mount for the Reefs winch, and I think I made a good choice. $9.99, I was able to come up and make something, get creative with it. All right, now, the last piece of mail. Here it is. Oh man, let's see. This is a massive box for what's going to be in here. You guys have an idea if you've been following the channel. Again, those are going to be going on this build before this weekend. I'm going to have to get that done ASAP because it's coming up. And let's see what we've got here. And these will be used with the build. So first thing that we have got is going to be some, yeah buddy, these are some XT60. Let's see, XT60 connectors, both male and female. Man, I am thanks to my dad, and they come with little collars. I am a soldering wizard, all right? I love soldering. I solder at the shop every day pretty much. I'm a wiring guy. So to have just all these, that is awesome. It makes me happy because a lot of the stuff, you know, is more budget stuff is not XT60 ready, or a lot of them don't come with leads and ends and things like that. And those were like $9.99. These right here were like $19.99. Again, you guys check out the links in the description below. I'm so excited about this build, guys. Just thank you for your help. Okay, now we've got some Z Power batteries. Now these are the batteries I'm usually run. These are the Gold Bat 1500 milliamp 100C 3S batteries. These guys right here will run like probably 25 minutes of hard crawling. I can crawl a whole course with this with a 6-minute max, play with it a little bit, and I can run another course with it and then play with it for the rest of the day, it seems like. So a really good battery. They haven't expanded on me yet. My dad does put them in the storage mode. He's my battery guy. But they're just a little bit bulky, a little bit heavy. I could put some Velcro on there and strap it to my little sliders. But wait till you see these things. $28.99. Oh, dude, look how small that is. Oh, wow. Look at the size difference. Just about the same length, but the width. Wow, look at that. It's about 3/4 the size. Man, that is awesome. These are Z batteries, 850 milliamp 100C 3S LiPo batteries. Wow, that is good looking. And I don't know what kind of damn connector that is. That's an XT30. So that's one of the reasons why my dad actually got me this package with the XT60s. We'll be doing some soldering and putting those guys on there. Heck yeah. Oh man, talk about low center of gravity. Dude, that's going to be sweet. I'm going to put it on the opposite side of the motor so it kind of helps balance it out. Dude, that is too cool, man. Awesome. And these things were cheap. He was like, oh, man, I can't not get that. And I think there was like a $5 off coupon. You guys can check out the links in the description below for those batteries. Well, I'm going to be getting into doing some soldering at the moment. I'm excited about that. Dude, those are just too damn sweet, man. Those are really cool. But guys, man, that was my G-Speed build. My first name brand, really carbon fiber chassis build. And I just appreciate you guys watching. And like I said, the criticism, constructive criticism, ideas, experiences, all that stuff helps, you know. I'm a newbie. I mean, it says in the channel, a lot of guys are like giving me crap all the time because they're like, oh, how'd you do that? Why'd you do that? What an idiot, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, man, I'm an Arkansas RC newbie, you know. I don't really get fazed by anything. So I appreciate you guys watching and help me out with this build. And please hit that notification, hit that like button so you guys do not miss this, my new build. It will be tested on the trails. Like, I don't even pre-run stuff. I might bring these batteries and get some pre-crawling in there, but the worry, and you guys already know, is, oh man, what if I break something before I get to do my comp? But hey, that's the hobby, right? But all right, guys, we will see you on the next episode. I will be crawling. Yeah, competition for money. All right, we'll see you on the next episode.